What's wrong, Hiryu? You want uppies? You want uppies? Green Dragon want uppies? Welcome back to Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. In the last episode, we went through the ship graveyard, climbed North Mountain, and now we are at the Kingdom of Walse, or more specifically, the town of Walse. Walse is a kingdom that is protected by the water crystal, which is why they have such lovely pure water that flows everywhere. It's also got this guy as well. This is Garula, his friend. Lives in the forest near the tower, but Garula's shy, so don't tease it, okay? Garula is interesting, because Garula will actually appear as a random encounter outside of Walse. If you encounter him, he'll just run away on his own. You don't need to fight him and kill him or anything. And even if you kill him, he'll just show up again anyway. Alright, this town will sell our first tests of time and summon magic. So that's gonna be fun to get into later, but we don't have anyone that can cast time or summon right now. He says, knowingly. Other than that, Waltz doesn't have a bar, so there's no piano for us. But it does have iron armor and Kenpo gi. I'm gonna buy the gi. And I'll buy the iron armor. But other than that, like, the cotton robes are still what we have on Galif and Ferris. They're not gonna get new stuff for a little bit. As far as weapons, battle axe, no one can equip that. But long swords and daggers, we can equip those by now. So you know what, actually it might be a good idea to get ourselves kitted out a little bit more. So I'll buy... Oh no, I actually didn't need to buy an iron helm, because we got that mithril helm on the mountain. I should have remembered that, and I was gonna remember, but then I forgot to remember. That mithril helm is very good, but if you feel bad about taking the king's mithril helm, you can downgrade to the iron helm. But I'm not going to. I'm gonna keep on with the mithril helm. I'm not gonna worry too much about the shield right now, we'll get that on the way out. There's also an inn and a place to restock our items. But for now, Castle Walse. Even the waterfalls are animated on that minimap. Welcome to Castle Walse. Castle Walse has a few things going on here. With the water's protection, Walse is undefeatable. Further, there's a room full of fabulous treasures beneath the castle. But steal any of them and there'll be a special room for you beneath the castle. And by that I mean jail. There's not much we can really do right now without the king's permission, so let's try to get the king's permission. Princess Lena! This is certainly a pleasant surprise. King Waltz, you look well. I come with a request. Please, stop amplifying the power of the water crystal. Oh, you must be joking. I could never do that. The crystal's power allows my people to live in comfort. King Waltz, if left as it is, the crystal will shatter. I've heard about the incident with the wind crystal. However, there's no evidence to suggest the same thing will happen to the water crystal. Furthermore, I'm certain that the people would be opposed to ceasing the crystal's amplification. Look, we don't have time to be arguing over the... Oop. Sky's all red. Holy moly, what's going on? It's another meteor. It's a space rock, which tastes better than an Earth rock, because it's a little meteor. And that meteorite is gonna fall right next to Walse Tower. It's an emergency! A meteorite fell near the Tower of Walse. What? There's no time to lose. Assemble the guard. To the tower at once. Yes, sire. Pardon the interruption. I believe you understand the severity of the situation. We'll continue this later. Move out. Well, we just got screwed over by climate denial. I'll explore Walse Castle later. But for now, the enemies in there are probably gonna rough us up. Because there are a couple of monsters in there. But there's some treasure, too. We can take the Wind Drake up and over to the meteorite. But as you might notice, the meteorite is just a meteorite. There's nothing for us here. Nothing for us to do with the meteorite. Only thing we can do is head to the Tower of Walse and meet Garula. Aw, look at you. People might not be used to Garula being this passive considering, Garula is a boss fight in 14. But yeah, they'll just run away. That's fine, and I'm sure nothing wrong is gonna happen with Garula. Except, Garula suddenly went berserk and stormed into the tower. We didn't stand a chance. It's funny. Because Garula is still as passive as ever in the random encounter. But suddenly, the moment you get in here, Garula's just like, I'm gonna fuck some shit up. The king went after it. Some soldier I've never seen before went in too. Soldier you've never seen before. Well, don't worry, my blue-armored compatriots. Even though we're not of the same kingdom. I'll get to the bottom of this after I defeat Ice Soldier and Ricard Mage. I don't know why your name is Ricard Mage. Is your name Ricardo? Are we in, Mexico? Are you just big fans of I Love Lucy? Either way, Ricard Mages are gonna cast some status ailments on us. Thankfully, however, they're not too bad once you get rid of their shields. Although they do have Drain. And Drain hurts! Ow, okay. Alright, never mind. I take back everything I said about these guys being easy. Kill him. Kill him fast. Okay, not what I thought was gonna happen. Thankfully, however, Galuf, you've got healing powers. Drain does a lot of damage. Let's not have that happen again. Tower of Walse is a little bit of a close, claustrophobic area. Garula's upstairs. Please, save the crystal. Can do, but first, I'm gonna go up here. Climb this vine, and get a silk robe. Which is probably good for our healer who just ate shit. There we go, now we've got some magic defense going. I'd like to see Drain do 172 now. It'll probably do something like 164 or something like that, which is still gonna kill in one hit. You, whose name is like French and I can't pronounce it, Pas de Soul? Pas de Soul? I'm just gonna call you Saul. Mr. Saul. Saul Goodman. That's more like a Saul bad guy. My favorite Guilty Gear character. Actually, that's not true. My favorite Guilty Gear character is... Ooh, if we go for... Design-wise, Elphelt. Gameplay-wise, though, Anji or Axel. Although Strive Elfelt is fun. As much as I've been harping on Strive on like social media recently, I still think it's a good game. I just think it's a game that has like its fair share of weird too. It's not the best, but it's still fun. I still enjoy it. That was my tangent on Guilty Gear Strive. Buy it now. Arc System Works, please sponsor me. I know I just talked shit about your game, but please sponsor me. I think every enemy in here should be weak to fire, actually. Let's take a check. That did a lot of damage. And it poisoned her. Okay, these guys aren't weak to fire. They just don't take much damage from any magic. Hey, could I ask you to not do that anymore? Could I, like, not ask you to stop? Please don't. If you could don't, that would be great. And now Galuf and Ferris are off sync. They're not getting their stuff at the same time. Alright, let's get a little bit of healing going. Lenna's gonna be taking a lot of damage with the fact that she still doesn't have very good armor. It's gonna be one of the problems with Monk. Monk relies on having high HP because their defense ain't shit. There's some wyverns. Wyverns? Wyvern? I don't know. I don't know the answer to the question. I don't know who Vern is. Actually, I think Vern is responsible for the Orbo-Rama and Orb 3D. Wyverns will, of course, use Breathwing, which is going to deal a lot more damage than when the frickin' Wing Raptor did it earlier, but still not too bad in the grand scheme of things. Alright, there's some things for us to climb. One of these leads us to a chest in the way up. The other just leads us to a chest. And of course I want both. Let it be known, everyone, loves me a good chest. More of you. Oh, we'll see how you like fire. We'll see how I like cure. Need you to die. Thankfully you did. Which is great. Thank you for doing that. Silver Armlet. Now, who can equip that? I think that's a caster thing. Yeah. Alright. Well, let's give that to Ferris, so she's got some defense now. But that also significantly increases Ferris's weight. But you know what? I don't think you look that heavy. I think, you know, the robes are slimming. Alright, that middle one doesn't lead to anything. So we don't gotta worry about it. And here is the crystal room. Make sure you're all healed up and ready to go. I'm actually gonna use a potion on you. Just to conserve a little bit of MP. Because we've got a boss fight coming. Garula and a red soldier. They're controlling you, aren't they? Well, I won't let you destroy the crystal. Uh-oh, here it comes. Garula may have been passive previously, but this angry version is angry. Take a sec to get yourself built up. And get ready, because Garula is a pretty rude individual. They will have continuous attacks against you, the lower their HP is, the more attacks in a row they'll be doing. So you want to be a little bit careful. Trying to get yourself healed up and all ready for protection. Bartz doesn't really need Protect since he's got the evasion from a shield and also the fact that he just naturally has good defense. Garula also has a chance to counterattack sometimes as well. The other thing is Garula's attack Rush. Rush is not necessarily a stronger melee attack, but it inflicts sap. Sap doesn't really have a cure, and it's going to continuously drain our health over time. So it is gonna cut in a little bit to our survivability. You're being very rude right now, Garula. Garude. No, Garuda's something else. Garula's also gonna counter magic. You, since you're in the front row. Give you a little more healing. Just try to stack on as much damage as you can. Oh, you're attacking so aggressively right now, which means you're probably almost dead. One of these guys wants to drop down to near fatal. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say then Bartz could cover him, but we were just one hit. Lan Hikari comes in to save the day, as usual. The Night Sprite for Bartz totally makes him look like a buff Lan. And there's the water crystal. The crystal. It unfortunately is about to shatter. We were too late. Ugh. Ugh. Lord Galuf. Me? You know who I am? Lord Galuf, I couldn't protect it. Forgive me. Hey, stay with me, man. Please, tell me who I am. Protect Fire Crystal. Ugh. He's trying to remember. The crystal fragments are glowing. Are they gonna give us their power too? Alright, let's grab these fragments. Time Mage. Up here is Mystic Knight. Over here is Summoner. And there's one we can't get over there. We get Red Mage. And, of course, my love for you is like a truck berserker. Would you like to making fuck berserker? But unfortunately, those were load-bearing crystals. The tower, it's sinking. The Tower of Walse is sadly an unrevisitable location. We have to leave that crystal be. It's not just the tower that's sinking, though. It's the entire damn island. Or at least that part of the peninsula. Ah! Sildra! Sildra, you're alive! Oh no you don't. You're not drifting out. You're coming with me into the mouth. Damn, Sildra, it's roomy in here. I have central air. Sadly, however, the jokes are gonna end. Sildra! Sildra, you used the last of your strength to save us. What are you saying? Sildra, you can't die! I won't let you! Sildra, thank you. Sildra. And unfortunately, that's the end of our cute sea monster friend. Well, now we can fly back to Walse. Alright. Now we have new jobs. So the question is, do I want to switch to them right now? The answer is... sorta. I'm gonna be switching to 2 new jobs just to show some new ones off. But we got 5 new jobs from there. So let's cover a little bit about them. Now that we have the water crystal out of the way, we have 5 new jobs to play around with. The first of these is Red Mage, which is capable of casting white and black magic up to level 3, with them being condensed into a single skill set called Red Magic. The main draw of them is their utility early in the game, and also their ability to learn Dual Cast, an ability with a whopping 999 AP required to master, but allows you to cast 2 spells in a turn, which includes Time Magic and Summons as well. Sadly, Red Mages aren't really that great late game, and you're only going to really pick them just so that you can master Dual Cast. But in the early game, they are pretty cool, and they have nice hats. Time Mage's hats may not be as nice as the Red Mage, but their magic is probably nicer. Time Mages have the ability to cast Time Magic, which includes a lot of great buffs and debuffs to use. This includes the ever-present Haste and Haste Ga, which are great for doling out damage with a fast party, as well as Slow and Slow Ga, which do the opposite, allowing you to buy some time for your party to breathe. They're also the job that learns Meteor and learn other powerful spells like Quick as well. Time Mages don't have particularly strong offensive capabilities, and their magic stat is somewhat weak among casters. But honestly, Time Magic itself is worth mastering, so it's good to have these guys around. Next on the list is Summoner. Summoner has the ability to summon different monsters that are obtained over the course of the game. This includes some very powerful ones later on. Summoned monsters don't have to worry about reflect and always deal full damage even when there's multiple enemies. However, they usually have very high MP cost as well, so use them at your own peril. Summoner's other main abilities are Call, which is a mastery skill that allows you to summon a random monster for free, but you don't have any control over what you get, and the fact that Summoner has the highest magic modifier in the game at plus 33. If you're going to be min-maxing your stats, you want to master Summoner. Their love for you is like a truck. They're the Berserker, the resident meme of Final Fantasy V. Berserkers are strong and have high HP, but possess low agility and an ATB penalty depending on the version of the game you're playing. Though, thankfully in the Pixel remaster, they don't have that penalty. What they do have, however, is constant Berserk status, which prevents confusion at least and grants them 50% more physical damage, but it also means that you don't have any control over them at all. Unless you really want to learn wield axes to maybe use Gaia Hammer or Rune Axe, you probably don't want to go anywhere near Berserker. They're pretty much a novelty and nothing more. Mystic Knights are kind of an all-arounder. They're not necessarily as strong as some of the other melee jobs out there at first, but they really make up for it with their ability to use Spellblade. Spellblade allows you to use most black magic skills as well as Silence and Holy from the white magic skill set as enchantments to your blade. This is really powerful. Any status charged blade will incur that status 100% of the time unless the enemy is immune to it. And attack charged blades will deal elemental damage that ignores defense to enemies weak to that element. In the case of the strongest spells out there, like the Aga level spells, Holy, and Bio, they will instantly kill an enemy that is weak to that element, unless that enemy is heavy, like a boss type. Spellblade is awesome, and it's one of the most powerful abilities out there. Other than that, the Mystic Knight has Magic Shell, which provides shell to themselves when they're in critical HP. This is not necessarily the most useful thing, but if they survive an attack by just a little bit, this means that they do have shell, so that when they're revived, they can take more magic damage. Mystic Knights are great, and you're probably going to want to master Spellblade at some point. It's really good. So this is our new party setup. May as well save it. And I think we've still got time for this episode. Still got some time, so how about we go to our next location? So, if we talk to NPCs inside the castle, one of them will actually tell us about the meteorite. I think it's one of you up here? Majesty's resting his quarters. Well, we gotta talk to the king anyway. Princess, you were completely right. King Walse, you mustn't strain yourself. You must hurry to Karnak. Their fire crystal is being amplified with a machine similar to ours. It seems a meteorite has fallen outside of Karnak as well. There is no time to lose. A meteorite has fallen outside of Karnak, and we have a meteorite right outside of the Walse Tower. I wonder if the two are connected, he says, knowingly. Alright, let's get on here, you, and take a trip to the Walse meteorite, which, conveniently, has a hole in it. Somebody left us open a door. And inside this door, inside this meteorite, is another warp panel. Bartz, did he just warp? We won't know until we try. I like Lena. She's like... A lot of people try to characterize her as like a little uwu bean because she's like feminine and stuff, but she's also ready to leap into the action. She is a lady of war. This place feels so familiar, and the soldier in that tower knew me. Who am I? Alright, this will take us from point A to point B. You may have noticed that meteorite we didn't have access to earlier because it was across mountains. Now we're here. Welcome to the other side of the mountains, fellas. It's Karnak. And here, we're introduced to more tougher enemies and me realizing that I forgot to actually heal up. Whoops. Thankfully, however, oh, I forgot to buy the time magic too, even better. At least Ferris has an excuse for not having equipment on. We're introduced to tougher enemies here, but thankfully that's going to also give us an introduction to Spellblade. Spellblade adds a portion of a spell's damage onto your blade, and also allows you to attack elemental weaknesses. You also might have noticed that Galuf is Santa Claus now, and there's an unfortunate reason for that. Galuf is old. Okay, well I guess we already knew that. But no, Galuf has been afflicted with the old status. What old does is, after a while, it starts reducing your level. Why did I do Ether there? I thought I had Phoenix down. I can't read. I never learned how to. It's tragic. It's truly tragic. How did I get them confused? They don't even start with the same letter. Either way, we also have this zoo to worry about. They're not the guys that are inflicting old on people, but these guys have a lot of health. And it is quite difficult to KO them fast. Thankfully, Dr. Light is capable of healing everyone. And we got some additional power from our Blizzard Blade. There we go. How about real quick I go back, heal up, and get some spells? What do you say? Sounds like a good idea? I think that sounds like a good idea. Alright, something else to cover while we're back in Walse real quick. Garula's back. Those duty heads, they were mean to Garula. And Garula will stay as a random encounter. Oop, I need you to get out of the way. Where did you go? I accidentally pushed that child into the abyss. She will never return. It is unfortunate. Stay for 20 gil a night. It's pretty expensive inn you got here. Better be the comfiest. Oh man, it's like I never even left. Well, I got some more enemies here. Let's try Spellblade Fire this time. And now, we have Time Magic, Slow, Regen, Mute, and Haste. How about we cast Haste on Bart's there. Continuously attack with some fire. Oh, they're not weak to fire. I think they're weak to ice, actually. Whatever. Bart is now very fast. Time Magic, or at least Haste, increases your speed. Increases the speed at which the ATB gauge goes, which allows you to attack a lot more often. If you're finding it a little bit difficult to control, I could suggest turning down the battle speed, but we go fast. We're zooming now. And grass tortoises are nice because they drop turtle shells, which will come in handy later. For now, they're not too much to worry about, but they will come in handy later. Oh, more of these guys. Oh, I want to become old. I'll quit Blizzard Blade this time. Try to deal as much damage as I can. Although these guys aren't weak to Blizzard. I don't think these guys have an elemental weakness. Maybe the zoo does to wind. There we go, we're doing a lot of damage now though. And as long as Aegir doesn't use that feeler attack, you know what? I'm gonna prevent it from doing so by killing it. You are dead now. Not big surprise, you're gonna be dying too. Ferris and Galuf, however, definitely are not the most powerful melee fighters. There we go. Alright, on our way to Karnak, actually, there's something weird up here. Notice there's bridges over there. What do they lead to? Nothing. There's nothing up there. Like, I'll even show you, there's nothing up there. Will there be something up there later? I'll never tell. Except I totally will. Alright, I want one of these guys to use question mark on Ferris. On Ferris. I want you to hit Ferris. I will wait for you to hit Ferris. Not with one of those. Not with a bite. I want the question marks. Give me the question marks. Give me, I'll take question marks for 500. Thank you. And that should have worked. Well, maybe I'll suffer another one just to make sure. No, don't suffer another one. Just kill them. Question mark, exclamation point. Mystery is a spell that actually does damage equal to the difference between your current HP and your max HP. Basically, how much damage you've taken. And with that, we have our first blue magic spell. There's a lot of spells to learn. But that one's a pretty decent one in the grand scheme of things. Especially once we start to get our HP a bit higher. That obviously means that the threshold for dealing damage is going to increase too. Heal you up a bit. So I can show this off too. If you use a status blade, like Sleep Blade for instance, your attack is guaranteed, unless the target is immune, to give that status. This is very good once you have Break. It is really good once you have Break. Let's see, we got Sleepy Blade. The blade is eepy. The blade itself needs a nap. Nap Chronicles. Some healing going, although we're almost at Karnak. Yep, there it is. The town of Karnak. The castle of Karnak. The boat of Karnak. Well, while we're in the town of Karnak, why not do some shopping? We have some money after all. However, Karnak is a weird town because it's full of lava, and there's just freestanding fires everywhere. Probably due to the fire crystal, which makes it so that it's easier to forge stuff, and it means that equipment is a little cheaper. The magic shop is locked, but the armory isn't. Oh man, what do I want to get? What do I want to get? Do I want to get armor? Do I want to get a weapon? Yeah, we haven't gotten a new shield in a while, or we can get some... You know what? Let's get some mithril armor. You there! Don't move. There they are. Huh? You're in league with the monsters. We saw you all crawl from the meteorite. Don't try to deny it. And some soldiers come to take us away. Well, we did come from the meteorite. Guess something else has also come from the meteorite, too. Not much we can really do in here now. We're in prison. We're in jail. There's another guy in jail, too, though. And if we go down here... he breaks us out. Oh, horse feathers! Huh? My great escape, and it's another cell! That was the last of my explosives, too. Nuts! Oh, you're so funny. Oh, you kids think that's funny, do ya? Doesn't matter. The name's Sid. What? The same Professor Sid who made those terrible machines to amplify the crystals? Forgive me, that was rude. No, you don't have to apologize. It's the truth after all. I'm to blame for everything. One day, many years ago, I found a faded old tome in the Library of the Ancients. It said that thousands of years ago, the crystals held much more power than they do now. So I studied the crystals at Tycoon, Walse, and Karnak, and built machines to enhance them. But I was wrong. Increasing their power output only caused them to shatter. Oh, it's all my fault. But why are you locked up? I was too late to save the crystals in Tycoon and Waltz. Figured I could at least save the one here in Karnak. But when I tried to switch off the machine, they threw me in here. Sounds like we're on the same team, you and us. You're here to protect the crystal. Yep, we were asked to. By this. A crystal shard? Who are you people? This is terrible. Terrible! Professor Sid! How many dumb voices can I make? What's happened? You were right all along. The crystal's cracked. What? It's doing really cool combos in Street Fighter. I turned off the amplifier, but the crystal's power output has only increased. The fire-powered ship. Yes? What about it? Most likely the fire-powered ship is leeching power from the crystal. Professor, please, we cannot do this alone. You have to help us. I'll need these folks to lend a hand. What? But they were seen coming out of the meteorite. They're in cahoots with that werewolf. There's a werewolf? If they can't help, I guess I can't either. Alright, Professor. You're willing to help me, right? I'll go ahead to the fire-powered ship. It's not exactly a safe place to me. You get ready and meet me there. I'll be waiting. Guess we've got to go to the fire-powered ship now. Now, Castle Karnak is full of interesting things that we can't get because there's fire in the way. Can't get it. Fire is blocking off a lot of things. Keep that in mind for later. I do like how they're just chill with all these fires around, though. Like, even the bookshelves. That is very irresponsible. That's bad fire safety. Everyone in Karnak should feel bad. But they don't. They just leave everything on fire. It'll sort itself out, they said. Talk to these guys. The werewolf that came out of the meteorite is trying to get the crystal. Waxing on about the end of their kingdom. Oh, right, this, actually. You might be thinking, oh, well, since I can go on this layer, I can just sneak around to that crystal. There's a fire in the way here, too. You can barely see it, like, peeking up over the wall there. We can't do anything. The werewolf! Don't let it in. And we scare him away with explosives. Scared him off using some of Professor Sid's explosives since he's immune to bullets. But he'll be back, you can count on it. So it seems that the fire crystal is out of control. We need to go to a fire-powered ship. The Queen of Karnak. We actually didn't talk to the Queen of Karnak, actually. Wonder where she is. Probably in the castle. But either way, now that we're no longer fugitives, before I end this video, I'm gonna stock up on some things. Mainly one or two very important spells. First, I want to get Raise, and second, I'm going to get... Oh, you're not the right one. I'm going to get Blizzara. The reasoning should be pretty simple. We're gonna go to a fire area. There's gonna be a lot of fire monsters that are gonna be weak to ice. We can also do a little bit of selling of useless stuff too. I don't think we need all the broadswords anymore. Other shields we can get rid of. Dagger will keep one around just in case. You know what, since I've got the money for it, I might as well go buy Cura too. Yeah. Now we're all outfitted with magic. I'll cover more of Karnak later, but for now, I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. So in the next episode, we're gonna be diving into the fire-powered ship, and hopefully stopping the fire crystal from going berserk. What about that werewolf? I'll see you guys later. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. That lets me know you like the videos. It helps me fight against the voracious eldritch abomination that is the YouTube algorithm. I'll see you guys later.